The Pokemon trading card game has a couple of different cards that are in a really good buying cycle right now. The card type that we are going to look at in this video is the Mega Hyper Rares from a couple different sets. Here we can see that the pull rates for these chase cards out of Mega Evolutions are about 1 in 1260 packs. So that means if you want a specific one, whether you're chasing the Lucario or the Gardevoir, that is 1 in 2520 packs. So right off the bat, these have a very low chance pull rate. Usually that means that these cards will do good long term because there are a limited amount of them out there. We can see that on gem rate over time, you can see the number of gems going down and approaching the line here of total gems, right? So over time, more are being submitted, and over time they're becoming less and less perfect, or they're being more submitted and they are getting 9s or 8s or whatever else. These do have overall, you can see here now there are 8,800 total grades submitted, so cards submitted, and about 2,500 are gems. So that is an average of about 28% gem rate. That is a very low percentage gem rate compared to the other cards in the set. A lot of the other chase cards outside of the Mega Hyper Rares are in the 50 or 60% range. So these cards are very hard to grade. Let's start with Lucario. So we look at the Mega Lucario. Its market right now is $280. This is the graph that I like looking at. I consider cards in a buy window when they have kind of flatlined for about a minimum of a month, sometimes 2 or 3 months. But if you push that 3 months, sometimes that can be too long and you will miss the bump back up. So we can see here back in September, this card was a $670 card and it's at $280 now. So let's just say about $260 to $300 is the range. So going back to about late December, early January, this card was about a $300 card. It got as low as $229 for just a little bit, and now we've seen a little bit of an uptick. So since January, off its all-time low of $229, its baseline has probably been around, let's just say $280, $290. So this price right now is in that range, and it has been that way since early January. So we're going on 5-6 months here of that price not really changing too much. I do expect this set, now that it's become about 8-9 months old, that this set will start gathering more momentum. Some of the other chase cards from this set have taken off. I do think there is a little bit of a lackluster following and appreciation for the gold cards, including myself. I don't love them as much, but I do expect these cards to go up here in the coming months. So we have the Mega Gardevoir again. The gem rate here you can see was very high. This is going to be a trend. You're going to see this black line go low while this darker green line is going to approach that. Right now, there's 1,600 gems out of 7,100. That's about a 23% gem rate again. This is a low gem rate card. These cards in general, the hyper rares, are low gem rates overall compared to the others. And then we will look at the trend on this card as well. $227 market right now. Again, about a $600 card back when it came out, dropped a lot. And let's just say 227. That is really right in about, if you average these numbers out, it maybe 220 is the average. But since again, early to late January, early February, this has been $230 card, $220, $215. So this card, it hasn't moved much. Up a couple bucks, down a couple bucks here and there. But this card is in a good buying cycle right now. I did look at some of the other sets that were previous. So Black Bolt, White Flare, Destined Rivals. A lot of those cards did see a big dip after release. Then they peaked real high quickly, and then they went back down to a kind of a buying cycle or buying window, which I like to say. And those cards eventually started climbing again, and they've been steadily climbing. And that was about 8, 9, 10 months after. So this set being 8-9 months, these cards should start climbing here in the next month or two, I would say. Moving ahead, so now we have Phantasmal Flames. There's only one Mega Hyper Rare in this set. The pull rate is 1 in 1,260 packs. A little bit probably more in demand of a Pokemon, being Charizard. So we'll see a little bit higher of a market price for him right now, or this card right now. We'll also notice one thing here moving forward, okay? So this card had a much lower initial gem rate. 30%. The other ones were at, I think, 100. I know that's not realistic. They weren't probably 100. It's probably the first 1, 2, or 3 were all 10s, and then they got more and more submissions and they dropped. But this card has been notoriously very low gem rate since its beginning. We can see that there are only 1,550 gems out of 14,500. This card has a much lower gem rate percentage, being about 10%. or 11%. That means you would need to buy and submit, on average, if you thought they were all going to gem, you would need to buy 10 cards and one of them is going to get a gem. So these are, you're going to see that these are at about $350, give or take. I don't remember. We'll look at this in a minute. So that would be $3,500 just in the card cost, without all the grading fees, without the shipping, without the insurance. So this card, I think, is a really good buy. We're going to see here, this is a $350 card right now. We can see, again, very similar trends. This is at a little bit more volatility. This is a little bit of a newer set. But if you go back to mid-December, right? So it's been up high of 385, 390. Low of 325. So split the difference across this line, put an imaginary line right through the middle here. Right now, it's probably right about where it should be, right? On average, it might drop a couple bucks, 10, 20, 30 bucks. It might go up another 20, 30 bucks. But again, good cycle. You're not going to lose a ton of money. I don't expect this card to drop off significantly any longer. I do think it could move up or down a couple of dollars, like I just said, but it will start taking off here, especially being Charizard. The low gem rate, $350 raw, is a good buy on this card right now. And I do recommend, if you are looking to collect it, if you are looking to buy the card for yourself, or if you are just looking to make some money in the trading space as well, or as a vendor. Last one, we have the Chaos Rising Mega Greninja EX. 1 in 956 packs, so we have a little bit higher chance to pull this card than the others from the other sets. So this one, we will see the price being a little bit lower in general because of that. We don't have any pricing data right now from gem rate, so we will jump straight into the pricing. So again, $260 card, trending here from, we don't have 6 months, we have about 3 months here, is probably going back to the beginning. And if you want to look at 1 month, you can see this has been trending down. I do think this is probably getting close to its low. This is a newer set in relation to Mega Evolutions, as well as in relation to Phantasmal Flames. I would probably recommend holding off a little bit longer. I would like to see a little bit more data stretching out on this to see for the next couple weeks, maybe up to a month, where we're at. At that point, if it hasn't moved much from this $255, $265 market price, I would say that's probably your best time to buy. So in review, I think a lot of the mega hyper rare cards are very good buys right now. I'm personally probably holding off on these. I don't have a huge amount of money I throw into Pokemon. I am moving most of my money, like my previous video said, into Prismatic right now. I think Prismatic is set to take off and double, triple, possibly quadruple in the next year or two. I do think that these cards will definitely double in the next year. Time will tell. That's just my prediction, my opinion, based on just the information I've known since being in the hobby. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you have these cards, if you're chasing these cards, if you're a vendor and you want these cards. Let me know your thoughts. Again, please like the channel, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.